Hello, humans. Master Dinnerflex here, bringing you the low quality content you deserve. And today, I will be looking at Magician Souls. Now you might be thinking, what do you mean look at it? This is the best Spiral card ever to come out. Well, this card's actually just kind of insane. So, what I mean by that is, this card, we're all thinking about, oh, Spiral, Spiral, Spiral. But what is actually keeping us from playing this in other decks? Because if you think about it, its summoning requirement is just for its special summon, which you don't want to really normal summon this card, of course. But a level 6 or higher spellcaster, that may be a Garnet, but you can nullify that just by the power of this card. Tossing dead spell or traps to get 2 fresh draws is pretty insane. And even if they're live or they're floaters, that's just even better. Like, let me explain a little more. So, when you are playing a deck, a lot of the time, when you're playing like specific decks that like need a lot of spells and traps, but a lot of them are hard ones per turns, when you're cycling through your deck, you're doomed to get more than one of the copies of cards you can't activate that turn. So you can just like toss them to get 2 new draws. And even in situations where you don't have that, you can just toss ones you're not going to use or you can't use just to keep doing it. And then on top of that, it's just a free summon. Now you might be thinking, well, I still got to play the brick. Well, there's actually one level 6 spellcaster that is the least brick of all of them, and that is Apprentice Illusion Magician. Now, I say this card is the lowest brick out of all of them because it might be a -1, but it just special summons itself. Like, no, I need to have this or that, or it's a tribute summon. No, this just special summons itself. Which is very nice. And it being a discard outlet can be very handy. So, like, this is the least brick of all of them. And, yeah, it's just a way to, like, get this on board for free. And if you draw this, you can still just summon it to keep your plays going. And if it happens to trigger something you discard, well, that's even better. So then, This is kind of what I meant by cards you can really only realistically use once per turn or once per duel even sometimes. You can just toss cards like Extra Pot of Desires, Extra something or another, and then just get 2 draws. Like, that's the cool part. But there were also things, I was also thinking of decks to put this in, because I'm kind of under the impression that Magician Souls can kind of go in a lot of decks. Not every deck, and even the decks that can go in, there might even be better options. But I've just been experimenting with this card, and it's really, really strong. So let's go to the first one, Monarchs. There is a level 6 Dark Spellcaster Monarch. Now you can just toss to the grave. Delg the Dark Monarch, and his effect is pretty average, kind of mediocre. If anything, it's actually kind of terrible. But the fact that he attacks your opponent's graveyard is nice. Even though he mills it, which kind of defeats the purpose, it's still a direct attack for an indirect supplement. So sometimes it works out, sometimes it does the exact opposite. But this is one. And then it can toss like your primes, your dead pantheisms, like all your spells and traps you have multiples of. It can just toss them, get 2 draws, and acts as a tribute fodder. And Sky Strikers, once we get the new link, if you're having trouble turning Engage online, you can just toss 2 of your spells, draw 2, and then get it online super easy. Spellbooks, just toss a bunch of spellbooks in your grave, get 2 draws, and this can also send like half that deck because they're all high level spellcasters. True Draco, it can trigger your spells and traps while also getting draws off of itself, and Heritage, which is nice. Then we got Volcanics, which Sending Blaze Accelerator and Dead Magical Planters is nice. But it also, Apprentice Illusion Magician can discard Volcanic Shell, which is nice. And then we got Layer of Darkness. This is a target for Layer of Darkness, Doom Shaman, which is a Giga Plant for Fiends, which is nice. And then it can toss like your dead spells, dead traps, your dead Ties of the Brethren, all that stuff. So that's pretty cool. And any Phoenix Blade deck, Phoenix Blade is just a free draw. And then an Evil Eye, which I've been testing recently, it can toss all your spells and traps that are like hard ones per turns, and the ones that like you can't do anything with, and you have a lot of spells and traps that float in the graveyard. So tossing them to get draws and then get your floating effects is really nice. And then it can be used to make Gorgon. So that's basically all I had to say about this card. Is like, this card, Magician Souls, actually has a lot more utility than I think people realize. Like, it's actually just a good card. Like, it's not just a good, like, card in this deck or that deck. I mean, this is just a straight up very interesting card that can go in quite a bit of decks, especially decks that have a lot of floating, a lot of spells and traps. Like, this is very interesting. And I think when we like eliminate what the brick is and we kind of find the best Garnet for this engine, I think a lot more people will use this. But yep, that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And remember, Master Interflax will take your soul.